Good Monday morning, everyone, and welcome into today's daily Bible reading for November the 28th. Today we are reading together in Proverbs 11. This is the second chapter of the wise sayings of Solomon, the little one-sentence snippets of wisdom and knowledge that can help us to be very productive in this life, that can help us to be very benefited by the wisdom of God in this life if we will recognize the truths of these statements. So let's go ahead and get the text up on the screen for us. Let's get to reading, and we will see what is in store for us. Now, remember, what I want to do is I will read the text, and then I am going to give you three either single statements or three little clusters of statements if they are grouped together that focus on a specific topic or idea. And those would be my three that I want to consider that I think that stand out to me, at least in this particular read. I invite you, if you have a particular statement or if you have a thought that stands out to you, please feel free to share that in the comment section, whether you are on Facebook or YouTube, and we will do our best to interact with that. And we appreciate your participation in that way. With all of that said, let's go and get reading here. Here in Proverbs 11, beginning in verse number 1. Dishonest scales are detestable to the Lord, but an accurate weight is his delight. When arrogance comes, disgrace follows, but with humility comes wisdom. The integrity of the upright guides them, but the perversity of the treacherous destroys them. Wealth is not profitable. Excuse me. Back to verse number 4. Wealth is not profitable on the day of wrath, but righteousness rescues from death. The righteousness of the blameless clears his path, but the wicked person will fall because of his wickedness. The righteousness of the upright rescues them, but the treacherous are trapped by their own desires. When the wicked person dies, his expectation comes to nothing. The hope placed in wealth vanishes. The righteous one is rescued from trouble. In his place, the wicked one goes in. With his mouth, the ungodly destroys his neighbor, but through knowledge the righteous are rescued. When the righteous thrive, a city rejoices. When the wicked die, there is joyful shouting. A city is built up by the blessing of the upright, but it is torn down by the mouth of the wicked. Whoever shows contempt for his neighbor lacks sense, but a person with understanding keeps silence. A gossip goes around revealing a secret, but a trustworthy person keeps a confidence. Without guidance, a people will fall, but with many counselors, there is deliverance. If someone puts up security for a stranger, he will suffer for it. But the one who hates such agreements is protected. A gracious woman gains honor, but violent people gain only riches. A kind man benefits himself, but a cruel person brings ruin on himself. The wicked person earns an empty wage, but the one who sows righteousness, a true reward. Genuine righteousness leads to life, but pursuing evil leads to death. Those with twisted minds are detestable to the Lord, but those with blameless conduct are his delight. Be assured that a wicked person will not go unpunished, but the offspring of the righteous will escape. A beautiful woman who rejects good sense is like a gold ring in a pig's snout. The desire of the righteous turns out well, but the hope of the wicked leads to wrath. One person gives freely, yet gains more. Another withholds what is right, only to become poor. A generous person will be enriched, and the one who gives a drink of water will receive water. People will curse anyone who hoards grain, but a blessing will come to the one who sells it. The one who searches for what is good seeks favor, but if someone looks for trouble, it will come to him. Anyone trusting in his riches will fall, but the righteous will flourish like foliage. The one who brings ruin on his household will inherit the winds, and a fool will be a slave to someone whose heart is wise. The fruit of the righteous is a tree, but a cunning person takes lives. If the righteous will be repaid on earth, how much more the wicked and sinful. And that is Proverbs chapter 11. Proverbs 11. All right, my number one for today, my number one proverb for today is going to be verse number 1. Verse number 1, dishonest scales are detestable to the Lord, but an accurate weight is in his delight. And what we're talking about here is honest business practices. If we're people who engage in business, whether we have our own business, whether we sell things, we offer services, there is nothing that can do more damage to a reputation than to be dishonest in your business dealings. We've all been there whenever it comes to whether it be a service of some sort. We probably a car maintenance comes to mind. We take our vehicle to a shop of some sort. We're told it's going to be this much money and ends up being so much more. We go in thinking we just have a nail in the tire, and they end up telling us we need an all new alternator. And really, we don't need an all new alternator. They're just taking advantage of maybe our lack of knowledge whenever it comes to vehicles. Whatever the case may be, we know how upset we get whenever we are mistreated or lied to from a business perspective. Therefore, let's not be that type of people. If we own businesses, if we offer services, if we sell products, we need to be a people who do what is right. It's not, I mean, obviously we're in a business to make money, to support ourselves, but we should not be a people who are willing to lie and cheat and deceive in order to gain more money. That is not godly. And here we see that the Lord, he finds that to be detestable. And I certainly don't want to engage in something that the Lord finds to be detestable. So that's my number 1. All right, number 2 for today is going down to verses 18, 19, 20, and 21. I think I actually did that yesterday in chapter 10, these same verses. But here they're grouped together, and they're all focused on righteousness. And my simple little quirk or little saying will be that righteousness is the right way, because the wicked person earns an empty wage, but the one who sows righteousness a true reward. Genuine righteousness leads to life, but pursuing evil leads to death. Those with twisted minds are detestable to the Lord, but those with blameless conduct are his delight. And be assured that a wicked person will not go unpunished, but the offspring of the righteous will escape. Righteousness, living to do what is right toward God first and foremost, and living to do what is right towards our fellow man. That's what righteousness is. It is living a right type of way. Righteousness needs to be something that we focus on. Again, there is great reward that comes through living righteously in the eyes of God. And then lastly, verse 22, a beautiful woman who rejects good sense. It's like a gold ring in a pig's snout. For me, as I read this, the very well-known phrase is looks ain't everything. Somebody is good looking, yet they lack any sort of sense. Well, that's not good. That's not going to help them. Looks only get you so far. Well, I guess it depends on who it is. If you're looking to try to satisfy a very shallow person, then you might get somewhere. But if people are really wanting substance, then we need to be a people. Yeah, we might have good looks and whatever, however it's described here, but we need to be a people who all pursue good sense. That's the thing. We can't control what we look like. I can't control what I look like. I am what I am. I look like what I look like. That's how God made me. But I can pursue to have better sense. And again, is that not what's the Proverbs are all about? It's all about helping us to pursue greater sense, to have greater wisdom and knowledge, understanding, and discretion. Yeah, certainly so. So let's be a people, all of the beautiful people that we are. Let's not rely simply upon looks, but let us pursue good sense. And if we can do that, then we can truly be successful. And God, again, will bless us mightily. Thanks so much for tuning into this reading on this Monday. If you liked any of these specific Proverbs that I highlighted, please feel free to share that in the comment section. Or if there's some other ones that stood out to you and have some things you want to say about that, please share that as well. We'd love to see that and interact with that as we go about throughout our day, thinking upon God's word, meditating upon these Proverbs, and hopefully being blessed by the meditation upon this wisdom, but even more so the application of this wisdom to our own lives. Again, thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Take care, and God bless.